You are listening to Results Over BS. You're about to find out the secrets to building a wildly profitable online business without the confusion or overwhelm, so you can finally have the lifestyle of freedom you've always wanted. Marquel Russel is internationally known for helping his clients turn their passions, knowledge, and expertise into premium price programs that bring in tens of thousands of dollars each month. Here's Marquel.
Okay, what's up, everybody? It's Marquel Russel here, and I'm coming live from here in my home office in Atlanta, Georgia. And today I have Dr. Joy with me. Dr. Joy is in Minnesota with the top drops. Feeling good out there, huh?
That's right. That's right.
I love it. I love it. So I know Dr. Joy is very busy, so I wanted to grab her. We've been working together for the past 6 weeks or so, and she's really been crushing it in a major, major way. So it's definitely an honor for us to be working together and just kind of seeing her progress throughout this whole process. So what I grabbed Dr. Joy on so we can kind of dive into some of her secrets, what she's been doing to get success, and kind of talk a little bit about her journey. And so with no further ado, we'll jump right in. First off, Dr. Joy, I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So before we really dive into, what you've been doing, how you've been doing to get the results and have the success you've been having in a very short period of time, first off, share a little bit about why are you doing what you're doing? What's the big premise? Because we all know it all starts with the why. So why exactly are you even going down this journey?
Sure. No, great question. The big reason is that I'm really, really committed to people getting free, to being liberated. And that means in all aspects. So particularly around issues of oppression, social justice, liberation, about healing from trauma. Like that's my lane about like, how can we get free? And that also includes economic freedom, right? So also there's a lot of trauma that is associated with that. So that's really my why. And I care about that in terms of all people, but particularly for people of color and for Black folks. Like we've been hemmed up for too long. So that's my why.
Awesome. And for those of you watching, if you're wondering like, why am I sweating? It's not because I'm nervous. I was just telling Dr. I literally just finished working out. So I'm still.
Right. So I'm about that radical self-care. So yeah, we got to get that in.
Absolutely. So just curious, Dr. Joe, let's talk a little bit more about, I guess, how was business in life for you before us joining forces? Before, what were you doing online? How frustrating was it? Kind of tell us about that process prior to us working together.
Yeah, so basically, before we started working together, so I had a coaching and consulting firm, was doing really well in terms of, it was thriving in terms of having, lots of clients and doing work, but my work was 80% in person, right? So it required for me to show up, to be there, to be at all of the things, and also to be able to respond to people at all different kinds of time at night, because I do a lot of work around healing from trauma and movement work, around Black Lives Matter and those kinds of things. And so that was, it was good to be able to be in those spaces, but I was worn out. And there's only so many places I can be, right? And so it really was about how can I scale this, meet, connect with more people, and get more people trained in the methods that I use.
Gotcha. So that's really awesome. So before now, you had to actually be there in person and kind of be really hands-on.
Yes.
And just really no real anything in the business.
That's correct. I needed to be there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. And I wasn't really, I did, maybe 15-20% of my like coaching with folks was virtual. For the most part, it was in person.
Gotcha. So how cool was it to be able to, I know over the past 24 hours or so, you'll be able to do like an extra $11,000 just within the last 24 hours. So how cool was that? Eat from the comfort of your home.
Bam, that was just like, I barely have scratched the surface. And it was just like, and it could have been much more, even just quick, people are ready. So they were like, I was like, okay, my heart said to do it this way, but people are ready. So yeah, that's right on.
That's awesome. So that's awesome. And this was $11,000, 2 calls, just doing the script process. And this was before we even launched the ads, right?
That is correct. And those are the only 2 calls I've done. So I'm 2 for 2.
2 for 2. I love it.
I'm 2 for 2.
That's a great moment.
I'm 2 for 2. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. So how big is that for you? So, because I know when we met, you had a website online, so you was kind of moving this direction. So how big is that for you for within a very short period of time for you to kind of go from where you are now?
Yeah, it's just a game changer, not only for me, but also, it's just already, giving me back time that I was having to take away from my loved ones, from my own radical self-care. And, the thing is that it depended on my mission to try to reach as many people as I can. Well, I can only be in so many places. And now having your program and your method to be able to connect with people all over the world, now, I can do that. Right. And I was worried about, because I'm such a high touch person, like, how was that going to work? But it translates, people want the information that you can give them to help them transform their lives, and however they can get that, they want it. So
I love it. Yeah. Because I know for me, when I first was on this journey early on, I just had to make a lot of sales if I wanted to make $11,000. So it's going to take me a lot of sales, a lot of work. And I got so bogged down having to do all the work. I lost track of my self-care. So I got up to like 190, almost 200 pounds. Yeah. Just kind of hammering away, eating crazy, being at the computer all day long. So
God. I was wore out, put on a bunch of weight that I had gained and wasn't, taking my time. I mean, part of my area is about radical self-care. So it's like, that's my product. So that's hurting me, if I'm not taking care of myself. So yeah, now this is just giving me back dividends of time, for me to be able to start. And that, that's the other thing about your program, like, that it's so much, you get these results on getting the clients, and I'm getting the money, and that's wonderful. But it just starts with the foundational piece about, which is really attractive to me, about like how you have to take care of yourself. What's your mindset? What are the things that you're doing to take care of yourself? So it's the why. Like, it's not just about, it's about your life, not just about trying to just crush a particular goal. Like, this is the life that we get to live. So that, to me, is what makes me get up every day, right? I could be like, oh, I made $11,000, I'm done. No, this is about a lifestyle that I get to have and get to show other people how to do it.
That's awesome. So how did you actually find me online? Do you remember?
You found me. That's number one. See, this is how I knew that the program worked, because I had never heard of you before in my life. I'm like, who is this on my timeline? I certainly have been praying, putting it out in the universe. Like, look, I need somebody who can take me to the next level, who understands the virtual space. Because I knew I had the content. I just did not have the system. And I needed to know how to be able to take what I was doing in person and get that out virtually. So I had been looking, had heard about a couple of folks, had never heard about, I hadn't come across you. And I had also specifically prayed. I was like, I need the person. I don't even know if I told you this. I said, I need the person to be younger than me. And so I specifically said, but I don't want somebody who's just younger than me. I need somebody who has lived life. Those were my two things. Like, because I didn't just need somebody who was like younger, who understood technology, but hadn't been through nothing. That wasn't going to work for me. So then this brother comes across, and I'm like, who is this? We talked about this, like, who is this with the tattoos? I almost got left with that, y'all ain't gonna lie. I was like, I don't know about this. And then my spirit said, slow down. And so you found me. Now I understand the method, right? That it's a whole method to be able to go out and find people. So, and I'm proof, because I didn't know you, and here I am. I'm like, how you find me? So yeah.
Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I guess what would you say actually attracted you to really, what actually attracted you and made you say, okay, let's do it? Because of course we know it's a decent investment. So what actually made you go ahead and take the plunge?
I think there were a couple of small things. And this is the other thing that I need to say. I made the commitment in less than 24 hours. I think it was about 24 hours for me. And I'm usually somebody who will be like, nah, let me check this out. It's going to take a bunch of time to investigate, months. Nope, it was within 24 hours. And it would have been quicker than that, but because I had scheduled an appointment for that Sunday, and then I was like, oh, I can't go. And then I scheduled it for the next day. And here's here were a couple of things. One, I wanted a system where I didn't have to be the person who was showing up for everything. So my mind could get free to be doing the work and the vision and getting stuff down. And right away, I saw the webinar. So I saw the webinar, and it was like, I've been on a million of these things, right? And it was actual real content. Like, you were actually talking about actual steps, not just like, oh, I did all this. I was like, la-di-la-di. Like, actually, if you do this, here's the things, here's some actual steps that you can take. So that was number one. Number two, I like the fact that right after that, there was an action. that I could take. It's like, okay, we'll set up, opportunity to talk, to do a strategy call. So that got me. It was like, I didn't have to wait for something else. And I also liked that I wasn't being sold something right then, like that didn't feel like, I felt like, no, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk and see if it's a good fit for both of us. So that was good. And then the next thing was that when I actually did the enrollment call, because I didn't do the enrollment call with you. And when I did the enrollment call, at first, whenever I found out that it wasn't going to be you, I was like, I don't know about that. And then I was like, that actually sold me, because I was like, well, actually, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how I don't have to be the person always on the phone. So whenever it comes to the heart of the program, I can be the person who's showing up for that, right? So seeing that process actually unfolding in front of my eyes was good. Then the person who did the strategy call was the bomb. That also was very affirming to me, because it gave me hope that I can transfer the things that I'm doing so other people can learn the system, so we can reach more people. So that was the other thing. And then, the questions that I had, that you were able to jump on the call and to be able to answer them. And it was like, ready, set, let's go. And there's like that it was already ready and we can start tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm in. And I literally signed up in a day and I started that evening. I've been going ever since.
A beautiful thing. So for those of you who are watching right now, if you're taking notes, 2 things you want to write, 2 things that are critical to fast success is fast decisions and then fast action. Those are the 2. So if you want fast results, it leads to fast decisions and then fast implementation. Would you agree, Dr. Joy?
I agree. That's it. You got to take action. You got to take action.
That's the key. That's
it.
Awesome.
Don't be just thinking about it. You got to take action.
Exactly. So I guess, once you came in, so let's talk about let's talk about some of the steps. What would you say are some of the steps we went through to help, that really helped you go through to help you get to where you are now within this short period of time?
Yeah, hands down. The first thing is just that starting with just getting your mind together. I was in the let's take action mode. Let's, what's this? What's the system? How do I move? And just the way you have your program set up, that it's like, no, we got first things first. We got to get clear about what it is that you're doing, what's your offer, what all those things are, and just all of the foundational stuff. And that, that you can't get, and there are no shortcuts. You got to do that. And so I spent what felt like to me a long time on those things at the beginning, because I was itching to ready to move forward. But, now look at it. I mean, it's only been 6 weeks. So, really it wasn't taking that long, but I was ready. And now I'm so clear about my lane, and I'm so clear about what my work is, that it was all good, all to the good. And when I know, like, if things are not moving the way that I feel like that they should, the first place for me to check is my mindset, to be like, okay, all right, have you taken care of yourself today? Are you doing the things that you need to do? And then that always recenters me. So I feel like that then, it just accelerated everything. It's doing the steps as they are laid out, period. I
love it. And we're just getting started, which is really cool.
Let's go. I'm ready.
I love it. So what would you say, how do you feel about the results you've got so far? And what do you see this helping you out in your life going forward? What do you see this being a do for your life?
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly how I feel about the progress that I have made thus far, I'm like over the moon. And like even just the amount of, the two clients that I just got in the last 2 days or whatever, that's amazing. That's great. But that's like the tip of the iceberg for like really what, what's ahead. So I would say what the program has done for me is just like, there just are no limits. I came in, I was ready to go, but I was really sort of suffering from like, I have a heart to serve. I want to be able to do things for people. And I still kind of had that mentality where like, you don't charge as much. There are things that you don't, and I'm cured from that. I'm cured. I'm off that bus. I am cured for that. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a new client today, and she had some questions. I said, look, listen, you got in on a good deal, and nothing else to be said about that. That will not continue at that rate. But you got in, and I was like, and I'm honored to be able to work and be, in the role with you. But the sky is the limit. So now I'm just like, limits off, not just in terms of clients and certainly the wealth building, but just what it means for me, my family, for my community, to be able to help people to get free. I'm just like, I'm free. I'm ready. Let's go. So it has just changed my total mindset. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm like, I get up in the morning like, okay, hit the ground running. What we doing? Let me go. What I got to get done.
I love it. I love it. Cool. So I won't keep you much longer because I know you out enjoying the sun drop top.
Yeah.
3 o'clock, you out chilling, having fun, and enjoying the day.
Yep.
So 3 o'clock for me, I think it's actually 1 o'clock your time, right?
2
o'clock.
I'm just an hour ahead. Yep.
Cool. So I guess as we wrap it up, if you had one thing to say to the audience about this process and about this journey and our program and how we work together, what would you say? The biggest thing that I would say is take action. Like if you're like on the fence and you really are like, how am I going to get to the next level? Like, stop playing and just go ahead and give yourself the best gift that you can give. And I'll tell you, and if anybody who knows me, like in my real life, I'm not one of those. Now I give people their due, but if stuff ain't right, I'm not getting ready to be. I'm not her. I'll be like, yeah, it was all right, but I'll be like, he cool, he trying, but I would be like, nah, don't do that. So what I would say is that, man, get in while you can. That's all I would say. Is like Marquel is like the best kept secret. And he got the system out here and he crushing it, and y'all don't sleep. That's all I can say. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Awesome. So on that note, for everyone who's watching right now, so as Dr. Joy said, it's 2 types of people I generally work with. Typically, if you're already a coach or consultant and you're looking to get more clients, you're looking to automate your lead generation and client attraction process and then create more leverage in your program. So now you're not bogged down with one-on-one, having to be all over the place to make your business work. You want to simplify it while making more money, having more freedom, and having a bigger impact. And if you're in a place where you have the content, you have knowledge and expertise to impact people, and you want to go into the coaching space, but just don't know how to get it up and going, how to attract leads, how to attract clients, and how to do it in a leverage way. Those are generally the 2 types of people I work with. So if you want me to personally take you by the hand and me and my team, and we walk you through this whole process and help you put it all together in a simplified way so we can get you to that $20,000 per month mark and beyond, I have a link below this video or a button around this video somewhere where you can click it and you get more information about how we can work together, and we can just see if it's a good fit. So there's no pressure, no hardcore sales thing or none of that craziness. It's just all about if we can serve you, if we're a good fit to work together, and if I believe in what you're doing, and if I believe it's going to make the world a better place, then we can figure out, okay, yes, a good fit, we can work together, and if not, we'll make some other recommendations that'll serve you better. So that's pretty much that. I have a button or a link below this video. Go there, get more information about our system and our methodologies and how we can help you, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, I appreciate you watching right now. And Dr. Joy, thank you so much for taking a moment out of your time to share with us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So everybody watching right now, if you want more information, click the button or the link around here and go do that. And until we speak soon, God bless you and love you. And we're out of here. Talk to you soon.